Somebody look at your neighbor and say, she finna bring it tonight. I said, somebody look at your neighbor and say, she finna bring it tonight. And if you ain't got a neighbor, look at yourself and say, she finna bring it to fuck a night. Oh, we gonna jump right into it, because that's how we do it over here. I ain't gonna tear it too long tonight, y'all. But I told you I was gonna come back with a part 2 of this Jaguar Wright video. Come on, let's do it. We jumps right into it. Jaguar Wright. She talked about Nature Boy. I did a video and I spoke about Nature Boy. For the ones who don't know who Nature Boy, also known as Elijah Bishop, is. He was known as being a cult leader. And he had a whole lot of gullible people in his cult that he was over. He was raping some of them people that was in his cult. He was beating some of those people that was part of his cult. He was doing all type of shit to those people. Ancestor said that Nature Boy, he wasn't that much different from Brother Polite. Some of y'all done heard about Brother Polite. Ancestor said they wasn't too much different. If you look deeper down that rabbit hole with Brother Polite, you gonna see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna leave that right there. Jaguar Wright said that she was cool with some of the people who was part of Nature Boy's cult. That's what she said. So you know she was gonna get the scoop on what was going on in the background. Jaguar Wright say that Nature Boy was feeding his sperm to some of those people who was part of his cult. Can you imagine that? Somebody taking their sperm and feeding it to you. And you eat the sperm willingly. That's what he was doing to some of the people that was part of his cult. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Why do you think that Nature Boy was feeding these people that was in his occult? Why you think he was feeding them his sperm? I'm going to break it down the way that the ancestors gave it to me. Almost everybody is aware about the menstrual cycle blood spell. Almost everybody done heard about that. When a woman, she want to keep a man, and she put her menstrual cycle blood in a man's spaghetti, or she put the menstrual cycle blood in his food, so that man can stay with her, so he won't leave her. That's what some women do when they want to keep a man. But don't get it twisted, my people, because it's some man who do the same thing. When they want to keep a woman, when a man want to keep a woman, what did he do? What is one of the things that he does? They put their sperm in that woman's food or in her spaghetti. And the reason why they would do this is because they want to keep that woman It ain't just women who do that type of shit. It's some man out here who do the same type of thing. The reason why Nature Boy, he was feeding them people his sperm. The ones who was part of his cult. Feeding them his sperm. And he was doing that because he didn't want those people to leave his evil ass occult that he was running. He wanted to make it hard for those people in his occult to leave. Nature Boy knew what the fucker was up. He knew what he was doing. But the people that he was feeding his sperm to, they didn't realize that that was an evil ritual. An evil diabolical ritual that was being done on them so they can stay. And I told y'all that so y'all can be aware of what's going on that's nasty. You'll be surprised how many consultation calls that I have. And people come to me, mostly women. And they say, yeah, I done put the menstrual cycle blood in his food. And they say, now I can't get rid of him. And they say, so madam, what I got to do now? I can't get him to leave me. I can't get him to go. That's why we must be careful of the things that we do. Jaguar Wright said, she said, while Nature Boy is in jail, that he gonna be teaching, some of the people that's in jail locked up with him how to do what he was doing. And ancestors gave it to me like this. And ancestors said that ain't gonna go far at all. That ain't gonna go far at all. He is not gonna be able to run things the same way he was running them before he got locked up. Ancestors said Nature Boy gonna be too busy trying to stay alive while he locked up in jail. And half of the people that he locked up with, they see what happened to him. And they say, we ain't about to be doing that shit. Because see, I'm not trying to come back and be locked up in no jail. So that's not going to go far at all. Moving on to the next. Jaguar Wright. She spoke a little bit about artificial intelligence. Now, the ones who follow the show with me, y'all know that we already spoke about that, my people. A year or so ago. And I told y'all, I said, don't be surprised when we start seeing these AI robots taking your order at the restaurant and serving your food and different things of that nature. I told you, don't be surprised. The things that they are doing with artificial intelligence is going to the next level. I said it's going to the next level. It ain't just in the movies. I told y'all they show us these things in the movies to get us ready for what they about to do. I want you to think about this right here. Not all artificial intelligence look like robots. Some of them, they walking around this bitch looking like human beings. That's why we hear that saying, looks can be very deceiving. We thought that meant one thing. No, looks can be very deceiving. Because at a time such as this, in a time to come, we're going to be thinking we're looking at human being people. And they're going to actually be artificial intelligence made to look like human beings. Catch that on flick. Some of y'all done heard about the movie, The Stepford Wives. That movie ain't just talking about clones. The movie ain't just telling us about people that's being cloned. That movie, Stepford Wives, it got a whole lot of hidden meanings, a whole lot of different hidden messages in that movie. One of the things that movie is showing us is that one day, man and woman, they're going to be able to pick the type of wife or husband they want. An artificial intelligence wife or husband. They're going to even be able, to create an artificial intelligence child. They say, shitaka, I want my wife to look like this. I want my husband to look like this. I want my child to look like this. I want him to act like this. I want him to do things like this. And they're going to be able to go inside of that lab and have the type of wife, a husband that they want. And it's going to be an artificial intelligence wife or husband or child that was made in the lab. Going to be able to, have sex and everything. I told you, the way that they doing technology now, and they're working with this artificial intelligence, is going to the next level. I promise y'all, that rabbit hole go much deeper. I want you to really think about it. Moving on to the next. Said I ain't gonna tarry here too long. Jaguar Wright. She spoke about the singer Aaliyah. And Jaguar Wright said they gave Aaliyah some pills that knocked her out. And she was carried on that plane against her will. That's what she said. I told y'all before and I'll tell y'all again. Aaliyah, she was a chosen sacrificial lamb. And it was more than one person that was involved in the setup on Aaliyah's death. It was more than one person that benefited off of Aaliyah's death. Remember that. I gotta say allegedly. I got to say allegedly. The last movie that Aaliyah played in, it was called Queen of the Damned. When you look at the definition of the word damned, it means condemned or doomed. That's what it means. And sister said, Aaliyah was also a sacrificial lamb for the movie Queen of the Damned. Sometime before these directors and these producers make a movie, they already got their chosen sacrificial lamb already set the fucker up. Said, we gonna put her in this movie. We already know she about to be the next sacrificial lamb. In that way, we gonna benefit from this movie off that person's death. I'm showing y'all how to put it together. And ancestors told me, when Aaliyah was on the set, when she was working on the set of that movie, Queen of the Damned, it was rituals diabolical evil, satanic rituals being done on her. And she wasn't even aware. Prepping her, preparing her for her demise, for her death. Some of these actors / actresses, my people, they be acting in some of these movies. And they are not aware of the rituals that's being done on them while they're on set of that movie. They don't realize it. I'm trying to teach y'all how to what? Be aware. Folks been telling me. They said Jaguar, Wright and Orlando Brown just did a part 3 together. And people been asking me, they said, could you speak on that as well? I'll check that video out and I'll see what I can do.